Hi, welcome to Jadekind Gaming. My name is Adam, and today I have a Pathfinder flip mat of an Asylum to unbox for you. It's one of the Paizo's flip mats they do, double-sided, and this one is Asylum, although from the images on the back, I'd be pressed to say it could be more than just that. Of course, you have the cover itself. On the back, they have, the little pictures of each. And usually I just say, let's throw this off and get to them. But I want to read. One side has an Enlightened institution, while the other is a remote and forlorn Bedlam. Because it is very much two very different styles of Asylum. And let's get this open. Okay. There we go. It's like, I know I have a spot in here. Correct. To tear it in with. Of course, the outer bits. There. And we will start, I guess, with the Enlightened institution. And where better to start than the front door. Now, so this can certainly be an asylum. But one of my thoughts, just looking at it with this Enlightened institution, is it could almost be something like a Mage Guild hall. Because either way, you have your front door with some nice landscaping outside. You come up, and marble floors, and you have this massive room. A massive open room with multiple doors leading off to different spots. And a simple desk in the center, single chair behind it, just sort of receptionist, basically, greeter, however you want to put it. There's just one person to sort of direct you as you enter. And let's go towards the rooms themselves. This way, you end up to what very much could feel like, Asylum kind of thing. If you pay too much attention to it, those are probably designed to be bars, where there's a door, a little room, you can see through what's going on out here, but that there's bars. And that's actually something I could not tell from the smaller image, but yeah, let's go in a little bit. Refocus. Yeah, so might as well use this fact that I can show close-ups. There are bars here, so there is like a little room here, but still, all the same. And a door into a hallway, which I guess means almost what my mind is saying. What in the world? Okay. I'm usually really positive, and overall I'm still very positive with this. With the look of this. Alright, let's go all the way in. As I'm going to poke fun at this. Zoom in enough, the light sounds good. I'm like, what is this bit here? I'm trying to figure it out, and I notice, why does that bed have a straight line at the end? And as I'm looking at, maybe this pillow was originally a different spot, and when they selected and moved it, this got selected as well, or something. But clearly this is the end of this bed. And I was like, what happened between my print run and the original? So I pull up this one, and you can kind of tell that line is right there. It was actually how it went to print. It's the official image. So there is definitely a glitch on this. I don't know if future printings will be corrected. But that's definitely something to know. Wow. With as many of these as I've looked at and I've gotten, for that to be the first time something that silly has happened that I've noticed, I mean, pretty good. But yeah, that is the end of this bed. In play, are they going to notice? Probably not. Are they going to ask? Whatever. You can just move on. But that is definitely something to know. Wow. Good job, Paizo. Anyways, carrying on, we have bedrooms. And the idea that this is barred almost makes me wonder if the idea is that these doors don't necessarily get locked, and all of the whatever the people that are in the asylum have sort of a free reign of this general area with tables and chairs. This little room here feels like, I mean, like maybe it should have been a bathroom, or maybe it's a bathroom but they're not just going to go, or it could just be a closet as it is. All the same, if you're not locking people in here and you're using this like Mage Guild common room, just bedrooms, enough that everyone has their own little room. Your own personal space isn't the most important part, so there's that. So we have the area where either way it can be, rooms for crazy people, or it can be rooms for normal mages or whatever place this is, and it sort of goes around the corner here with a couple more before a door leading to this outer center room. But before we quite get to that, let's look at another little bit here from the main room. Nice, good spot. Instead of going to the farthest right door, the one before that goes into a little office. Clearly desk, papers, looks like bookshelves, and then a further office behind that actually goes into, again, the rear center room, which will be the last one I look at because it's conferencey. So anyways, you get a couple of offices, like a nicer office with, so here's an important person's office. They can go directly into this main room here, and then whoever works for them. And then before that, you actually have like a bedroom, like almost like a bedroom for someone of importance. Maybe this person, maybe someone else. No, actually, this is a bed. This is the bedroom for whoever's office this is. So these are both bedrooms, and this is an office for that. I was looking at that like a desk, but I'm like, wait a minute, that's the desk in here. This is the bed. So we have someone whose bedroom goes directly into here, and an office in front, and then someone who just has a bedroom here off the main room. So those are basically probably people that work there, if it's an insane asylum, or people that are important, and if it's a mage's guild, as I might also use this for. Wow. Anyways, if you were to instead go left from the main room, you go into a little dining area, which can then go, you have a door or an open wall into the kitchen, which I feel is probably another mistake. Man, they let down quality control on this one. I'm almost shocked and kind of sad to have to say it, but yeah, just be aware, there's a few little things that are a little glitchy. Maybe wait until this has been out for a while and get a later print run. I guess maybe the reason I never notice them is because I often get them when they aren't all that new, when they have been out for a while or something. Well, it's a kitchen area with a couple fireplaces and tables to prepare food. Here's where the kitchen is, a dining area here. And you can either go from dining room through this other room that kind of goes off into other different places, or directly through kitchen. And you get into some more beds. And these are shared rooms. These ones have, 3 or 4 beds in a single room. This one has like a wardrobe here. But yeah, these are like shared rooms, which could again work either way. Guest areas for the guild, a different type of inmate for the insane asylum, and entered both from the lobby out here or from this back area is a storage area. Now it has a nice rug in it, so it's clearly not, like a poor quality storage. It's going to be a little nicer area, but it has shelves and cabinets and boxes, just sort of storing the stuff you might need. And then you get something that you're getting on both sides that I don't know if I pointed out. I know I didn't. I didn't point out the one on the other side, but there is a little garden pathway that'll go to the main room or back to this weird room. We'll just call it that. That's the weird room. Now, maybe that's just a weird tile on the floor. Maybe it's some sort of weird water pool thing. Maybe it's a magic room. That's part of the room, one of the rooms that made me think this feels like Mage Guild kind of place. But you got the weird room. I'd almost like to know what their thought with it was, but yeah, definitely whether it's used as a padded room, to seclusion someone off into, or whether it's used as, some sort of magical rift area that in your Mages Guild. There is a room back here that has a really weird texture on it. I will point out, because I didn't before, we did have this on the other side, which this entered. Ooh, that's got to be a secret door then, because the path almost kind of leads from there. But alas. From the main room, from this path here, from the back of this hall, this garden area, this office, all of them enter this one central room, which makes this room feel very important. And it has a bunch of chairs on both sides, a big sigil in the middle of a giant table, rugs all the way around, bookshelves on all sides. This feels like the Mage Council room. That's another one of the things that made me think, like, oh, this is a Mage Guild kind of place. But it also could just be, someone, some doctors, whatever, practitioners evaluating patients and that kind of thing. It could be used as that as well, or just a meeting spot where all the people that work in this sanitarium, asylum, whatever it is, would meet to make decisions on how to move things forward. But this is definitely a big space, big, important room. But that's a look at the Enlightened side. Let's take a look at the Bedlam. And to start here, I want to start here, because this is clearly the idea for the path that enters it. Now, this one could, of course, also be used as, it's Asylum. Much different kind of one. But you go up this rickety path. It could also be a dark castle, dungeon, whatever, that kind of thing. This path up along, clearly a cliff going down, and it's a little bit above it. You got your dead trees, very ominous, outdoorsy areas with, barred windows. When I'm looking at this, I see this two different ways. When I see this kind of texture, you could either have this be something where the walls are broken down and that's just open air now, or you could look at this as literal areas where, like, the rough mountain terrain, like the mountain that comes up, where they did not smooth out the walls and reinforce walls. They just have the natural stone blocking off the interior part of this building. Anyways, you got it sort of flanked by a couple of gargoyles, and stairs going up and inside. Anyways, you continue up the stairs, past the gargoyles, and you end up in a big room that has a bit of a texture on the floor. Can I tell the brickwork there? I'd point that out, because that was something I just noticed. Anyways, but columns around it. You notice much less in the way of furniture on this side. Which, for one, other than one room, pretty much. Which, for one, means, if it is Asylum, it's pretty much a, here's your stone room, try not to smash your head on the wall. It really is just a place where they're locking people away to get them out of the way. But let's go with the kinder side here. Because you have whatever doors off of this room in all directions. So you can go up this way. Go into a room with a whole bunch of different cells, basically. Just sort of stone rooms with single doors. There's another one, again, this area with some barred area, like barred windows. Stairs go up, and sort of another entrance into this area. You get a few doors off of this, sort of go outside on the top of the cliff overlooking, which, if you're going to use it as a dungeon, means that this path that I showed that enters, that they can outlook over that as you're coming in. So they see you, they have advantage, they're looking down at you. So that is very crucial if you are using this as like a dungeon or castle that's is being defended. But again, some more outdoors area. Little rooms that sort of connect them. I did point out this room does have some blood on the wall. More rooms just off of this back area. Very similar feeling if you go this direction off of it. Very similar here. Again, I'd already mentioned what those kind of feel like, a couple different ways that could be used, either broken up or, and yeah, that could just be broken walls, and those can be a couple areas where you're vulnerable from the outside, but, so be it. Bunch of small rooms here. And then you get the one room that actually has stuff that has, like, either, containers of water or wells. You get some, not necessarily exactly weapon racks, but more like torture implementation racks, because we have a couple, torture devices and weird tools on tables with stools, and this is where they are torturing people, and this could just be a way where, a place where, in addition to dungeon or castle or asylum, it could be literally like a keep where they're holding, prisoners of war, and they're trying to torture them from information, and it's up in some remote place, and your players have to come through and try and rescue somebody that's being, a brave hero that's being kept here. Of course, a few different, obviously a few different uses for the maps, but I guess we'll do an overview on this side, just to kind of show off, the castle as a whole, try and lift it up, reduce the glare, and we of course have the same kind of thing on this other side. Grand view of this asylum here. So yeah, those are a couple asylums, or I've given, certainly, when I saw them I thought of some other options. There's of course some weirder rooms, and a couple spots on this side in particular that have little glitches to them. Interesting. I just noticed also there's a little wheelbarrow right outside there. Because of the landscaping. But that was a nice little detail. But yeah, definitely. Right now with games I'm thinking, I guess I'd probably be more likely to use it for some of the other purposes than Asylum. Obviously, if you needed an Asylum for a game, they'd work for those as well. Do beware that at least the print edition I got had some glitches on them. Good job, Paizo. But overall, still usable, and still, as obvious, since with some of the things I've already said, inspires ideas. I've obviously gone through a few different things other than just Asylum that we could use either side for, so inspiring for a variety of ideas of how you can use this environment. If you have any other ideas or ways to use it, any suggestions below, or any suggestions you have, put them in comments below, let me know. I'm always glad to have more ways to get use out of the maps that I have. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye.